these young people who've been working with us are amazing. They work so hard, they really care about the environment, care about the job sustainability. We've created a democratic system in the business so that they're heard, and honestly, they're some of the best people that I've ever worked with. Like, they're fantastic, and one day I hope that they're going to take over the business from me. So it's just a shout out to you youngsters, like, keep going.
Yes, definitely. I think that's a really important experience to share. I mean, there are stereotypical views about a lot of young people. You know, when we see a group of young people on the street, you're automatically afraid of them. You know, we don't provide enough opportunities for young people. I mean, there's loads of issues we've had with people. We don't have enough skate parks, or we don't have enough spaces for them to hang out as young people, and ultimately that leads to many of the things we see, and then ultimately the stereotypes will be put against young people. But it's really great to hear that. Are there any other thoughts or questions that people have? Yes, the lady in the back. Sorry to put your hand up before you.
That was great, and it's such an important reminder, isn't it, on how we can get young people involved. What would your advice be for organisations that aren't doing it now and want to make a start? And particularly, like, I'm developing a new strategy for sort of active travel across South Yorkshire. It would be great to get young people involved, but we haven't started it yet. What would you advise in terms of like avenues we could go down, or things we could think about just to get us started?
Okay, very briefly, because I could genuinely go on about this for an hour, but I think it would be important to involving young people in you know, these discussions in these organisations, is truly valuing their voices, and you know, making sure that they know their voices are valued, and you're not just taking them for granted. You're not just sitting in that meeting and taking the young people's suggestions from them. And there is a big conflict about, you know, how do we reward these young people for giving up their time. I mean, I go to lots of events and stuff, and it's quite often recognisable, but those events don't actually realise, you know, I do go to school, I'm still in education, and you know, you give up your time to come and speak here. So actually suggesting proper feedback loops, you know, making sure that they know that their voices are being listened to, and you know, if there's any room for rewarding them in any way, then I hope that was helpful. You can come find me after this and we can have a bit more of an in-depth discussion. But yeah, there's lots of ways. Yeah. 5 minutes. Okay. Got time for one more question, maybe? Yes, the gentleman.
Hello, thank you very much for your presentation. Excellent. My question to you is, how can we as a community work together to ensure young people of the now, that they become part of the solution in the energy transition in South Yorkshire?
That's a big question. I'll do my best to try and answer it. As a community, I think the importance is, you know, we mentioned stereotypes earlier that we have against young people, by stopping ourselves from falling in the traps of thinking about young people. You know, they're too inexperienced, they're too young, and again, really properly valuing their voices as a community. If we start coming together and recognising, you know, that the climate transition, the transition we're going to have to go through is going to impact young people. We're not being taught the green skills that are necessary for that transition, and I think that's something as a community we can really try and push for, I think. And I mean, even just taking your own initiative, you know, if you know any young people within your neighbourhood or anything, try putting on events or something that they can come to and learn the skills that they might need in the future, or, you know, start their thoughts around, you know, what action do I need to take, and making them realise that every little thing that they do and every little thing that you do as a community is really important in, you know, solving the climate crisis. Yeah, again, massive question. If you want to talk to me about it further, feel free to have me. Yeah. That was the last question.
Django, I think we've got 2 more minutes if you want to pick a question from the board.
We can pick a question from the board. I didn't realise that they. Well, slightly inclined to the second one. I want to comment on that very quickly without being too political about it. There's 16, guys. There we go, that one's done. And let's go with the third one. How do we encourage other young people to care about these problems?
Give them a vote.
Yes, well, yes, that is the solution. But I think even then we still have voter apathy because, young people don't see any change being made. And I think it's, I don't want to put too much on you older generations, not insulting you about your age or anything. But I think it starts at the very top. We need role models that show you that every action you take can help. Getting young people to care isn't as easy as just going to them and saying, you have until 2050 to actually make a change or else the world's going to burn. No, that's not right. We can't go around saying that. We need to actually give them hope. And that starts at the very top by actually implementing decisions, again, listening to them, making sure that their voices are heard, feedback loops so that they know changes being made from their views and opinions. And yes, giving them a vote would be helpful, yes, but then how do we combat voter apathy? It's a massive cycle and it's a massive problem that we have, but as a community, and if we want to show that we're really serious about solving the climate crisis, we do need to do something about it. And that is all we have time for. So thanks everyone for listening. It's